Hi everyone and welcome to Sports Watch. If you like the content, please press the bell icon for further notifications and like, share and subscribe to the channel. UFC 300 just delivered and it was a spectacular night of fights. It would be difficult to replicate a card like that throughout the year. Every fight from the early prelims to the main card delivered and the fans were the ultimate winners. In the main event, Alex Pereira made light work of Jamahal Hill by knocking him out in the very first round. And the celebration at the end of it pretty much demonstrated what he thought of Hill and Adesanya. Right through the build-up of the fight, Hill had been talking undue smack about Pereira. He was telling how much levels above he was of Alex and how on the fight night it would be a one-sided domination. While Alex Pereira was being respectful, Hill was trying desperately to get under his skin and convince himself more than anyone else that he was the better fighter. Even in the press conference, Hill made a mockery out of himself and it didn't go down well with Pereira or the MMA fans. Alex Pereira said that he was going to make him remember the moment when he disrespected him, and he didn't mince his words. Jamahal Hill thought that the advice from Israel Adesanya on how to beat Pereira would help him immensely. But he forgot one thing. In 4 attempts, Izzy has managed to beat him only once. Plus, Izzy is an elite counter striker who doesn't get hit much, and Alex beat him thrice. So that speaks volumes on the level that Pereira is operating at. Jamal also underestimated Pereira and overestimated himself. His greatest win was against a 42-year-old Glover Teixeira. And in that fight as well, Glover got Hill hurt. And if Glover could hurt him, then Pereira could most certainly do it even better than him. And all of a sudden, he felt that he was the man. And Alex Pereira just humbled him. You don't get to be a two-division kickboxing champion and a two-division champion in the UFC if you do not know how to fight. And Jamahal Hill thought that he could strike with Alex Pereira and knock him out standing. Pereira is a stone-cold killer. One of the most savage moments of the fight was Hill hitting him with a low blow and Herb Dean rushing in to pause the fight. Alex just brushed Dean away like he was having none of it. Right after, Jamahal Hill realized what he was in for. And then came the picture-perfect left hook. It didn't even land flush, and Hill's eyes rolled back as he was falling to the canvas. A couple of hammer fists ended the night for Hill, and Pereira stood over him like all this trash talk for this? The power that Alex Pereira possesses is legendary. He doesn't need to hit you clean to knock you out. Years of kickboxing has enabled him to be a precise striker, and now he's knocking out light heavyweights. He even wanted to have a fight at heavyweight in UFC 301. Ever since his signing in the UFC, Alex Pereira has been on a run, beating champion after champion. He's already a Hall of Famer. In the co-main event, Zhang Weili defended her strawweight title against fellow Chinese compatriot Xan Yionan. It was a dominant performance from Weili except for the third round where she faced some adversity. But the fight was filled with controversy. At the end of the first round, Yan appeared to have passed out with a choke. It was the end of the round and appeared that she was out briefly before regaining her senses. Even Wiley thought she was out, but the referee allowed the fight to continue. And in the third round, Yan showed hurt and dropped Zhang, who was exhausted after 2 rounds of heavy wrestling. But she recovered in rounds 4 and 5 and dominated on the ground and retained her belt. It was a great fight, but it should never have been the co-main event. The people's main event was Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway for the BMF title. It was an epic finish from Max Holloway, knocking Justin out cold with 1 second to go in the fifth round. It was the greatest finish in UFC history and fittingly for the BMF title. The last 10 seconds of that fight would be part of UFC folklore forever. Despite winning 4-1 comfortably, Max Holloway pointed to the center of the octagon and decided to slug it out against one of the most dangerous fighters in UFC history. It brought back memories of Holloway and Ricardo Lamas, and Justin obliged despite being hurt. Most fighters would have chosen the safer options to lose on points, but Justin Gaethje is a true fighter who wears his heart on his sleeve. Max Holloway knocked him out cold and solidified his legacy as one of the greatest fighters ever to grace the octagon. It's a cruel sport, this mixed martial arts. Few months back, Justin Gaethje knocked Dustin Poirier out cold with a head kick. And tonight, the tables got turned and he got knocked out cold himself. That's the game they play. Props must be given to Gaethje because he didn't need to take this fight, as he doesn't do anything for his career. He could have waited for a title shot, but he didn't. And styles makes fights, and Max Holloway was all wrong for Justin Gaethje. Max is durable and gets better as the fight progresses, and his chin has proven time and time again to be the best in the business. And this time, he had time to put on weight, unlike his last venture at lightweight. It was a virtuoso performance from Max as he dominated Justin. Gaethje's success with the leg kicks, but in the boxing parts, Max was lighting him up. The turning point of the fight came at the end of the first round when Gaethje ran into a spinning kick from Holloway that broke his nose. From that point on, Justin had difficulty breathing and had his mouth open at all times. Max Holloway was smooth with the combinations and hurt Gaethje multiple times in that fight. That volume from Max overwhelmed Justin. But Gaethje is a dog. Max Holloway's chin is legendary. He has never been knocked down or out in his career. But I heard Justin Gaethje knocked down Max in the fourth round and heard him hurt for a brief moment. But the championship experience of Max Holloway shone in the fifth round. He was smooth with his combinations and Justin stumbled on his feet multiple times. But he didn't deny Max of his moment and went out on his shield. It was a great night for Max Holloway, but it takes two to tango. Justin Gaethje's stock didn't go down at all after that fight. It was the fight of the night and both guys got 300k for the violence. And Max got another 300k for the performance of the night. Holloway's stock got even bigger after tonight. That fight should have been the main event. After the kind of performance that both fighters put in the octagon, it would be a hard act to follow for any fighter. And that was undoubtedly the people's main event. Max Holloway is now the BMF champion. He is the only person in UFC history to have won both the interim title, the featherweight title, and the BMF title. Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan was also a great fight. Arman Tsarukyan prevailed in a split decision win over Charles Oliveira. It's a shame that the fight wasn't for 5 rounds. Oliveira almost finished Tsarukyan twice in that fight. In the first round, he had him in a deep guillotine. It was tight, But Arman was calm and was able to escape from it. Tsarukyan had watched how Islam dominated Charles in the grappling department, and that second round he just did that. A double leg takedown and the ground and pound to follow. Charles struggles with fighters who are strong and good wrestlers. Arman dominated him on the ground. He made a mistake in the third, which allowed Charles to get him into a submission, but he hung on and was able to get the most important win of his career thus far. This puts him in title contention. The winner of Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier would probably be next for Arman Tsarukyan. The main card for UFC 300 was an absolute banger. It was a great night of fights and every fighter delivered. Let me know in the comment section what you feel. And if you like the content, please like, share and subscribe to the channel.